I'm Max, I'm from Sydney and I'm going to the University of Chicago where I look to study literature and hopefully physics as well. My first experience or exposure to Chicago was in year 11, the night before a test, an English essay, where I was reading about Wayne Booth, a literary critic from Chicago. And so even at that time when I didn't know I wanted to go to the US, through him and some other authors I'd read, particularly Kurt Vonnegut, who's also from Chicago, that's how I first heard about it. And when I went to Crimson with a passion for going to the US, they were talking about potential universities. And Chicago was the first one I recognised, and from there I latched onto it and really fell in love with it. Definitely did have a favourite tutor. I think, like a lot of the people I've talked to, my essay tutor, Jason, he was absolutely great. I think the best story I can tell about him was on Thanksgiving weekend. I was freaking out about the UC applications. He called me from his aunt's house to talk about them, and in the background his family was walking around with plates of food. They were getting ready to go to the table for their Thanksgiving lunch, and he was there helping me with my essays. Yeah, my main tip, and it's hard to do when you're actually applying, but in hindsight I'd say enjoy the application process. And I don't mean enjoy the SATs or the ACTs, those are pretty unenjoyable, but the essays in particular are a really unique space where you have absolute creativity to write about whatever you want, and you're validated to write about whatever you want for one of the most important applications of your life. And that's an experience, an opportunity you don't really get in school normally. So pick something you're really passionate about and enjoy writing about it. From a young age, I'd always wanted to leave Sydney at the very least for university. I always thought that it's a pretty homogenous environment. It's a bit of a bubble in a way that it's all your friends going to the same colleges, all the people you know, which would be really fun, but at the same time, I'd always wanted to go to a completely new environment for university. And so what the US particularly was for me was not just a new environment, but one particularly with the style of education and the diversity of those colleges, was an environment where I could go in my first year knowing that in all likelihood, by the time I major in my third year and graduate my fourth, that my interests and my friend group and my outlook on the world would have completely changed.